All right, guys, today we are going to review some integer rules. So if you will, go ahead and get your notes titled and dated. Today is 8/21/17. And then go ahead and title your notes Review of Integers. Okay. And then we're going to start with the adding and subtracting integer rules. Hopefully you recall that integers are any positive or negative whole number. Okay, so -5, 2, 17, -65, all of those are integers. Okay, so we're going to start with adding and subtracting integer rules. Okay, so here's our first example. If I have -4 plus 6, okay? If they have the same sign, then we add and keep. So we add and keep the sign, okay? But if they have different signs, then we keep the sign of the bigger number and we subtract. Okay, so let me walk through that a little bit. So right now we have a -4 and we have a +6. So they have different signs. So we're going to keep the sign of the bigger number. So when I say the bigger number, you need to look at just the number itself. So right now we have a 4 and we have a 6. Well, hopefully you know that 6 is bigger than 4, okay? So 6 is positive. So that means we're going to have a positive answer. Our answer is going to be positive. And then if they have different signs, we keep the sign of the bigger number and we subtract the numbers. So we take 6 minus 4, and that doesn't really matter the order there. So 6 minus 4 is going to be 2. So we get a +2 for our answer. Let me show that to you on a number line, okay? Ran out of room. Okay, so if we start at a -4, we're going to start at -4. Okay, so we're down here, and then we're going to add 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we end up at a +2. And we get the same answer. Let's do another one. All right, so we have 7 minus a -2. Hopefully you remember last year that if we have this double negative right next to each other, we can turn that into a big plus sign. So really the problem that we're dealing with is 7 plus 2. 7 plus 2 is a regular problem we've been dealing with since kindergarten. So I'm going to take 7 plus 2, and I know that that answer is 9. All right, so I have -8 minus a -4. The first thing I notice is that there's 2 negatives right next to each other. So I'm going to turn that into a big plus sign. And I always rewrite my math problems so it's easier to see, so I can see what rules apply. So same signs, add and keep. Well, these don't have the same signs because I have a -8 and I have a +4. So I have different signs, so I'm going to keep the sign of the bigger number. So which one is bigger, 8 or 4? Hopefully you know that 8 is bigger, and since 8 is a negative, our answer is going to end up being a negative. So then we take 8 minus 4, and we get negative 4 for our final answer. Same sign, add and keep, different sign, subtract. Keep the sign as a bigger number, then you have a fact. Okay? All right, so we're going to stop there with the examples of adding and subtracting integers. Okay? If you have any questions, you need to make sure that you're asking. All right, so now let's move on to multiplying and dividing integers. Okay, so I think multiplying and dividing is a little bit easier than adding and subtracting because there's a few rules that we can follow. So if it is a negative number times or divided by a negative, so if there's two negatives, our answer is going to be positive. If it is a negative times or divided by a positive, so one's negative and one's positive, our answer is going to be negative. And then if it's a positive times or divided by a positive, then it's going to be a positive. So make sure you have all those rules written down. You can pause the video if you need to. Okay, make sure that you have all those written down. And then let's do a few examples. So if I have negative 8 times negative 5, they're both negative, so negative times a negative is a positive, so then all I need to know is 8 times 5 is 40. So I should get a positive answer. All right, if I have negative 49 divided by a positive 7, since one's negative and one's positive, I know my answer is going to be negative. So I can go ahead and put that negative sign there. Then all I have to worry about is what is 49 divided by 7. And hopefully you know that 49 divided by 7 is 7. And then, of course, a positive times a positive is always going to be a positive. So 3 times 2 is a positive 6. Again, if you have any questions, make sure you raise your hand and ask for help.